Hey everyone, Georgia here with Ukraine Matters. We have, I think, good news that we can maybe get optimistic about, but I'm still being cautious because the person that recently proposed a couple of bills that maybe will pass, and one of those bills is support for Ukraine, is Michael Johnson, the Speaker of the House of US. He doesn't really have a great record when it comes to voting for Ukraine and bills, but his back has also been against the wall in the past days. There's a lot of inside politics that are covered by specialized channel for that. But the long story short, the pressure for supporting the bill for Ukraine has been already mounting. There has been certain discharge petitions that were being slowly but surely signed that would go around his power. And now recent attacks by Iran on Israel kind of escalated this whole discussion about security of the allies, especially because US position is still supporting Israel. You might not like it, but that's how it is. We are now seeing 4 bills introduced. Basically, the Senate package of the bills that was proposed by Senate before has now been split up into 4 different bills. These bills will have the opportunity from the representatives to receive the amendments, and there will be a vote on these amendments, whether or not to include them into these bills. So it's going to be definitely a different process than we had with the Senate bills. So once these bills are voted on, then they will be sent to Senate for the Senate then to vote them on. It seems that general agreement between Democrats and at least some big part of Republicans, and which include probably, again, I'm speculating a lot because there's a lot of undertable politics over here that I, from my place in Denmark, just can't see, and that they will potentially allow all 4 bills to come as a semi-connected package, so to say. So if certain bills suddenly get delayed, Ukrainian support bills, while others get pushed away, then Biden says, no, I will sign only all 4 of them. So something like this. It's a complicated issue, and it has been for a lot of while, but we are obviously interested in the Ukraine bill. And first and foremost, let's underline why is this important. I've talked a lot about the fact that the support from Europe is pretty good. Europe has been stepping up massively. What Europe has been doing is great. There has been, unfortunately, 2 things missing in the European support for Ukraine. First is that the European peace dividend, the way that it showed itself in Europe, is that Europe pretty much demolished their defense industries. It just has little to no production capacity, whereas in US, while it decreased significantly, it's still there. So if US is working to support Ukraine, Ukraine just gets significant more production available and a lot more modern equipment gets there. That is one thing. Secondly, technology. Certain technologies are just very nice and advanced that the US has. For example, the Bradley armored fighting vehicle has been shown to be absolutely incredible. It's been one of the best deliveries that I'm hearing from the guys from the front lines, and they have been loving every second of it. Additionally, a lot of some Stinger missiles or Javelin systems, they have been also quite capable. And those kind of things. And then secondly, there are certain things that, for example, are banned, certain technologies that are banned in Europe, like, for example, cluster munition. Delivery of the cluster munitions is a big deal. So we know that Ukrainians, when they received the cluster munition, it instantly changed the way that Russians, well, I want to say, could approach Ukrainian positions, but they mostly couldn't really when Ukrainians have enough ammunition. So there is a lot of good stuff. And I think I would actually add the third one, which is the general political pressure, right, on the allies. For example, we know that Germany is very reluctant supplying super long range missiles. If by some reason Biden will decide to send ATACMS missiles, long-range ATACMS missiles to Ukraine, it will put an additional pressure on Germany to supply additional long-term, long-range missile components. And that's important. And I know a lot of people are discussing in this bill that it does have a mention of ATACMS being sent by the President Biden. However, it's not as clear as you would want to be. Because, for example, ATACMS missiles technically have already been sent to Ukraine. They've already made the appearance. It doesn't particularly state what kind of type of ATACMS, or like it's a strong recommendation, yes, but it's not like it must be done. But hopes up that this will happen. But let's go through the bill. So the bill is, it's a read, right? So instead of reading through the bill, I did a little bit of work, and I'm maybe going to share this screen with you. And in this one, you will see an overview of what's actually going in the bill, an approximate description of what it represents, and it's just going to be a nice overview for what is happening there. In total amount, I've calculated to just about 60,753,000,000. That is plenty. So that's approximately the amount that was also discussed in a Senate bill. So the contents not maybe changed as drastically as some people have predicted. Like, for example, there were consideration that the total amount would decrease to about 48 billion. However, an interesting addition to this was a discussion that this bill will be a loan for Ukrainians. And a lot of people started dismissing this bill, saying that because it's a loan, therefore, this bill is no good. Then it should not be voted on. And there are 2 points that I want to make for you. First one, in Second World War, the Land-Lease Act was technically a lease and lending of the equipment and resources to Russia, to Soviet Union. However, the amount that Russia paid back for that Lend-Lease was minuscule. So lending to an ally is not a bad thing in itself. That's nothing to worry about. Secondly, Ukraine just need help now. So that's why even if the money is landed, it's going to matter more if Ukraine wins the war and then will be a prosperous country and then will pay back parts of all of this landed amounts of money, or they will just lose and lose and lose and lose against Russians before the European production will go online. So what do we have here? Well, you'll see that there are certain purple lines that I've highlighted. And I've highlighted them because these are specifically the lines that are going as directly to Ukraine as possible. Majority, like 99.9% of everything else, goes to US. It goes to respective US departments. It goes to US production. It goes to support US military, to restock the military from different parts of the US military. So these funds are not going to Ukraine. These funds are staying in US, and that's the important part where this whole loan narrative completely breaks down. And the important narrative that this is an investment in US rearmament, which is, I think, is a much better name for the bill than aid to Ukraine, because whenever people say, oh, let's provide aid to Ukraine, people think let's take a lump sum of money and give it to Ukraine. Whereas in reality, you're taking an old obsolete shit equipment that needed to be disposed of anyway, sending it to Ukraine, and instead you're paying your own producers, your own departments, your own Marines, Air Force, whatnot, to get new, fresh, shiny equipment that is up to the modern standards. It's a win-win-win. So the point that I'm making here, that the purple one is going to Ukraine, and only the purple part is actually a loan, technically. Everything else is a grant. Everything else doesn't deal with Ukraine. So in this bill right here, the loaned amount to Ukraine is only 10 billion. And 10 billion is not a lot. That's what I want you to take away, that you dismiss this loan narrative and we can move on. It's a good bill. it has a lot of stuff for Ukraine, and the important part, it's going to make change. Remember, Ukraine needs to buy time because European Union, European producers, there's a lot of positive support. The support for Ukraine grows in Europe. We are getting the positive momentum, but the European machine is slow. And Ukraine also needs time to get up to speed. So we just need to buy time now. Therefore, this is a perfect bill to be passed to support Ukraine right now. I obviously am crying inside because this was not provided like 7 months ago, but we are where we are. So we need to take the wins when they come. And obviously, it's not going to be easy because there are plenty of Russian assets in the US House of Representatives, and we can see them if we open the amendments protocols to the bill, because here you can read all the various amendments that different people are proposing, and I've just highlighted some of the pearls here. For example, require all members of the Congress who vote in favor of this act to conscript to Ukrainian military, or prohibit funding until Ukraine closes all biolaboratories, or, for example, prohibit funds directly or through other entities for abortion services, I guess, in Ukraine, or in Marines, I don't know. Redirect funds to attorney generals to initiative to mass deportation of illegals. So basically to use the bill to deport illegals from US. Or, example, strike the whole text of the bill. That's a good amendment. So the point that I'm making here, and you can read through this, again, I'm going to leave the link, and you will see that there was like Republican. The good news is that if you just kind of look at this and you look at the names of the people that are proposing these shitty-ass amendments to delay the promotion of this bill, these are the Russian assets. These are the people that Russia has bought. These are the people that either are malicious, evil, or stupid. That they either believe Putin's propaganda, they hate Ukraine, or they are just being a sellout. You choose whatever you like best. All of these people can go die in a ditch. Fuck them very much. Majority of them are obviously MAGA. And all of the MAGA people is like, no, you just don't understand Trump. It's actually, no. It's like, stop denying reality. Get a life. There are plenty of really good Republicans. We have seen many good Republicans came out in support of the bill, and I am glad that Republicans, like I'm shocked that Republicans in the Republican Party are even considering having some kind of Russian propaganda spreading members be there and even have a sign that they are part of the Republican Party. That is absolutely crazy to me where we are right now. So Russia is influencing Republicans, and I'm hoping that the good Republicans are going to fight back, because I'm pretty sure US needs you guys. The only Democrat that I do want to highlight was the Democrat that I believe proposed the office of the Marjorie Taylor Greene, or something like this. So yes, so he proposed, so Moskowitz from, I believe it is Florida, so he proposed revised renaming 403 Cannon House office building to the Neville Chamberlain Room. You can take from this away anything that you want. Again, people in the comment can correct me and tell me what is actually specifically located at 403 Cannon House office building. But talking about, important point in this bill, at the end of the bill, something I really want to talk about is that some amendments were talking about the fact that there should be more talk about allies of US reaching the minimum 2% commitment to NATO defense. Now, I wanted to talk about this for a specific reason, because we right now live in a time where European defense is rising up significantly. But the 2% in NATO is a freaking guideline. It's not a minimum barrier. No one is spending and giving money to NATO. There is no giving money to NATO in this sense. It's how much a country spends on their defense. And the best person to summarize this, in my perspective, is current Secretary General of the NATO himself, Jens Stoltenberg. So let's take 50 seconds to listen to his speech.
I'm also encouraged by indications that the US Congress may take up further aid to Ukraine in the coming days. All of this comes on top of unprecedented aid already being provided, including F-16s from Denmark and from the Netherlands. But Ukraine needs even more. That is why, if allies face a choice between meeting NATO capability targets and providing more aid to Ukraine, my message is clear. Send more to Ukraine. Denmark is a strong example, providing all of the artillery to the Ukrainians, but also with clear plans in place to replenish national stocks.
There we go. Direct words from the Secretary General himself. I couldn't say it better myself. And I think this is a great message to kind of wrap it up our section. I only have a couple of things that I want to say with regards to thanking you guys. Absolutely incredible. We did finish our 6th, I guess, as it's written here, campaign of getting trucks to Ukrainian armed forces. We got it over 37,700 euros. We got 2 trucks with additional jamming equipment on them, so they will not be hit by the FPV drones. Amazing work. Great job. And to continue on very strongly, I actually got reached out by the Ukrainian ADOPS, super known party as well that supports Ukraine, and they proposed, can we do a small program to get some kind of anti-drone weapons to fight these drones to Ukrainian armed forces? And I said, why not? So let's, guys, with no break in between, let's start another initiative, this time with Ukraine ADOPS. And they are also offering different patches. If you support enough, then I think for $1,000 you can get like a cool figurine. Or if you donate 5,000, like you can get yourself a lamp that is made out of the remnants of the cargo missile. There we go. Ukraine ADOPS, great community. I've donated from this channel's profits plenty specifically to Ukraine ADOPS. Really great guys. I was very blessed that they've reached out to me directly. So let's try to do it. Additional message is with regards to channel. YouTube has replied that they are looking into the issue with the deleting of the comments. We didn't know about the problems with comments. Our moderating team was not aware how to deal with this, and now YouTube fully responded that something is happening. So we're gonna wait and hope that the comments will stop disappearing. I'm sorry if you have encountered this. Not our fault. YouTube has acknowledged this. And another problem that is happening in YouTube is that there is some issue with reporting from Ukraine channel. I'm pretty sure you're aware from this. Reporting from Ukraine, huge channel, almost 500,000 subscribers, and they're now being mass reported by either bots or YouTube system. I believe it is YouTube system because YouTube is now on a raging spree to fight the AI generated content on YouTube. So it's very nasty, and apparently reporting from Ukraine channel has been scheduled for deletion. So I will advise you to potentially reach out to comment section reporting from Ukraine, or his community section, or his Twitter page. I also believe he has a Twitter page, and then he will tell you how you can help him out. Maybe reach out to YouTube by mail to make his voice heard. One of the main reasons why I stopped doing detailed map analysis is specifically reporting from Ukraine, because the guy is just so good at doing it. Support reporting from Ukraine, support Ukraine matters. I love you all, guys. Slava Ukraini, and I'll see you next time.